Late to the party, yeah. Welcome back to my room in London, where the angle is always different and the quality is always subpar. Right now I want to talk about The Casual Vacancy by one J.K. Rowling, which was published earlier this past year. And Pax has already talked about it on this channel, but I just finished it recently and wanted to tell you what I thought. Because I thought a lot of things about this book. Firstly, I want to preface this with the fact that J.K. Rowling was an author that cut her teeth on children's literature, and we all know and adore Harry Potter and the phenomenon that it created and the phenomenon that it is, but I think that the comparisons that keep getting made between this book and Harry Potter, like, oh, it's weird to hear that kind of writing style that we all know and love, talking about such different kind of events, yeah, it's great, but the comparisons can't really be made because they're obviously very different books. So I'm going to do my best in this review to keep it straight on track with solely the content and prose of The Casual Vacancy and not do any Harry Potter comparisons. Disclaimer, you've been forewarned. In essence, this book just drags readers through the mud and the lives of these sordid, unhappy lives of unlikable, pretentious, petty characters in a small town called either Pagford or Pageford. I said it Pagford. That might not be right. I haven't actually had the chance to ask any English people how to properly pronounce words like that, but we're just gonna call it Pagford for now. And in this town of Pagford, a man named Barry Fairbrother has died suddenly from some aneurysm in his brain. Or maybe it was some other kind of medical oddity. I can't quite remember. And you think, oh, just one man in this one town has died. What could that possibly have for an effect on everybody else? But apparently it has a very great effect on the rest of the characters in this story because J.K. Rowling has brilliantly woven the lives of so many characters with similar sounding names that I had to draw out a family tree together in a plot that truly does thicken as it progresses. In this novel, you meet all kinds of families like the Mollinsons and the other Mollinsons, the Prices, the Whedons, etc., all from very different parts of the area surrounding this town and the town next door, Yarville. In this book, you meet all these families of characters that all have something, however small, to do with this Barry Fairbrother that has now died, and his presence in the town wasn't actually noted until he passed away, and some of these people's lives are incredibly disrupted by his death, and others aren't so much, and then some discover it later on. However, like I said before, the characters in this book are fairly unlikable, and I don't think that that is any reason to write this book off, because you can have unlikable characters. These characters are supposed to be unlikable. You're not really supposed to grow attached to any of them and say, yeah, I really hope you do well in the end. I think that they are set in a time and in a town where gossip is such a big deal, and the lives of everybody else mean so much to you that you can't help but have your own opinions of everybody, and you can have not nice opinions and everyone in town will know it. So no one likes each other, from what I understand. Well, obviously people like each other, that's you know, a given. But no one likes each other, and it's perfectly okay. You can have characters that all hate each other and have characters that are entirely unlikable and still have a great novel. And this is a very character-driven plot, and I applaud J.K. Rowling for creating such. This is a book that is packed with every kind of adult scenario I think you could possibly hope to encounter, and she does an exquisite job of being very descriptive and at the same time leaving you to imagine maybe scenery in any way that you like. While I was reading this, I was actually lamenting not being as into it as I wanted to be. I wanted to sit down and tear through this like I had her other work, but it is a very different book and stands alone in its own right, and I found, similar to what somebody on Goodreads told me, that the last 150 pages are really the big rush of discovery all at the end, and those, in fact, were my favorite part. It was very back and forth popcorny, in a sense, and it just drove the main plot home, and I really appreciated that. I thought that was a nice touch. The novel itself is incredibly well packaged. It's got like I said before, it's got every adult theme that you could want. It's got angsty adolescent exploits. It's a good book. Character driven, not by plot. I thought the plot took a little too long with exposition. It was a little heavy-handed in just detailing what was going to happen next. But that really allows you to focus on all of the characters some more. In the end, I applaud J.K. Rowling for this novel. She had a lot of very high standards to meet from all of her fans, expecting, you know, another great treasure of work that Harry Potter was. And The Casual Vacancy is valid and worthy in its own right. It is a 3-star book for me, 3 out of 5, and reflects, I think, my particular preference for the book's content and theme. And I think this book is just another instance where this woman has shared her talent for writing with the world, and I think that is what we need to appreciate about this, rather than making any comparisons to the work that she has previously produced. I know I'm a little late with reviewing this compared to, you know, the time it came out and everybody was tearing through it and putting up videos about it. So if you're just reading it or have just recently finished it or want to read it, I guess, tell me what you think, what you're thinking, what you thought of it, what you want out of it, and leave it in the comments because I'm really curious to see what other people have thought. There are a lot of reviews out there that I've been watching and reading and looking for because I'm trying to be really, really separate from Harry Potter, and I'm finding a lot of people are doing a lot of comparisons. So let me know your thoughts on this book. London is rainy and cold, but still ultimately very beautiful and very fun. I'm coming to the end of my really big school-heavy part of the semester, and for the next 7 weeks after my spring break, I will be interning. Can't tell you where, but I will be interning, and I'm getting psyched up to do that. Bex is getting ready to leave for Austria pretty soon, so we should all wish her happy travels as that happy day approaches. I hope you all are having lovely weeks and lovely lives, and I will see you in the future.